Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are doing a period underwear re-review. If you've been around the channel a while, you've probably seen my original period underwear review video. Actually, I have several of them. I have my initial thoughts / try on, talking about if they fit true to size, how they feel, and so forth. And then have a initial thoughts review as a first time user of period underwear. I then did another video update on how to take care of them, as well as comparing them to the menstrual cup and reusable pads. Spoiler alert, these are still my favorite zero waste period products. But it has been about a year and a half. Several people have asked for an update. How do they work? How long do they last? And so forth. So I wanted to talk about that with you today, especially now that I've had several months of trying these out and getting used to them, getting familiar with them, and so forth. The first brand I want to talk about, I honestly can't even remember the name of them. And that tells you how I feel about them now. I have since moved them into my regular underwear pile because they quit working. I have had some leaks with these other brands, which we'll talk about shortly. I'll put the brand up on the screen once I go back and look at my old video. Yeah, it was last year, maybe last fall, so I had only had them for 6 months or so, and they were leaking with one drop of blood. It wasn't like full cycle day. It was just I would wear them on the front end or the back end when I was waiting for it to start or stop, and it was leaking. So I've since moved them to my regular underwear pile, so I'm still using them, still getting use out of them. But one of the pairs is also falling apart. The waistband did not last very long in that pair. So yeah, I don't recommend that brand at all. As I already hinted at, I have had some leaks with some of these. Actually, almost all of these. Even this one. This one is a Modibodi. I cut the tag out because it makes my butt itch. I think this is supposed to be one of their heavy pair, and I still saw leaking in this as well. And so something I don't really understand about the design, and maybe it's because these are designed for sleeping, but the padding goes all the way up in the back and all the way up in the front, which, as I talked about in my initial review video, I really enjoy because when the pad cuts off in the butt, it bothers me. I can feel it, it's like a tag. But that being said, when I'm sitting and standing at work all day, I'm sitting like this. I'm not leaning back or laying forward, so the blood still sits and gathers right here in the bottom, and it still leaks. These heavier pairs though, they don't leak that bad. It's more just a little bit of leakage on the side. It doesn't really go through all the way when it leaks. But this pair, this is just a light day use, so if I were to wear this on a heavy day, it would probably leak all the way through. And that is something I feel like nobody really talked about when I was doing research for my own period underwear. No one talked about leaks, and either everyone who's worn period underwear and talked about them online has the lightest periods ever, or they just weren't being honest. So that being said, I don't leak all the time. It does regular days, light days, even medium heavy days, no leaking, but heavy days, there will be leaking. So either you have to change your period underwear very frequently, every 2 to 4 hours instead of waiting out the normal 8 hours, or you have to use something else on those days. And since I work a regular 9 to 5, I can't just change my period underwear at work. I mean, I can, but it's kind of a hassle because I have to wear, I'm in the Air Force, so I wear the bloused pants and boots, and I have to take off my whole uniform just to change these. So if I'm at home and I'm having a heavy day, I'll change them all day long. But if I'm at work, I just use something else, which, speaking of, I have found a new zero waste period option, and that is a reusable tampon applicator. So you only have to buy the individual tampons, not the whole applicator and the packaging and stuff. So if you would like me to talk about that on the channel as well, let me know, though I do already have some videos on TikTok about it if you would like a sneak peek on that product. Now we're going to talk about comfort. One of my biggest critiques with Modibodi, and it's just me being picky, I think, they have this thick seam on the right side of all of their underwear. There's one. Okay, all of their regular cotton underwear, these ones that have more of a nylon feel, don't. There it is. And again, so this is just me being picky, I think, but when you have to wear underwear 24/7 when you're on your period, and if you're always wearing Modibodi, I start getting a groove in my hip and my skin gets really irritated by it. So again, it's pretty minor, and I just make sure to be cognizant of that. Oh, if I have a Modibodi pair like this, I might wear instead, when I change my underwear, a Modibodi one that doesn't have a seam, or another brand entirely. That being said too, about Modibodi, they have changed drastically since I first tried them out a year and a half ago. They have many different styles, lace, designs, fits. They even have these that I already talked about a little bit. It's more of, what's this made out of? It is nylon. It's recycled nylon, which is really cool. So it is stretchy. This is nice if you're working out. It's much more pleasant to work out than in cotton ones. And they even make the nylon fit in one of their extra heavy overnight as well. This one they claim works for 24 hours, which I believe it if you don't have a heavy period. The ones from Body still work really well. This actually ended up being one of my most favorite pairs. Where's the tag on this? I guess that's what I should talk about too. I've pretty much cut the tag off of all of these because it's so irritating. They put it right at the top of my butt crack and it was too itchy. So the ones that have tags like these, I really appreciate them. Oh wait, here's the tag. This one from Goat Union. I ended up loving these as well. I didn't think I would because they're mesh and they're high-waisted, two things I'm not really a fan of. But when I'm on my period and I'm bloaty, having high-waisted is so nice because I don't have like a tight waistband cutting into my uterus, you know? So this is super loose fitting, yet it fits, like it's not falling off type of loose. This is one of my favorite pairs. Pretty much all of the ones from Modibodi that are for heavy use, I love them. One that I still don't really get behind is the ones from Isle. They're all right, but like the additional padding you can put in here, uncomfortable. This little flap, uncomfortable. So those are kind of like a last resort pair, like if I haven't done laundry yet. Oh, where is it? This is the other big thing I wanted to talk about. I've had my first pair, besides that one that was not very well made, start to fall apart on me, but it was my own fault. So let me explain. I should have touched on it more in the period underwear, like washing and caring video, but I didn't because this hadn't happened yet. There's a hole. I sewed it shut and it still works, so that's the good news. I sewed it shut, and despite there being a hole and me crappily sewing it, it still holds liquid and I didn't have any leaks with this. Why did this happen? Because I know there are many different ways you can wash out your period underwear, and again, you can check out my method for washing them up here. I like to wash out all the blood first into a bucket, repurpose that water onto my plants. That way I can wash my underwear with a full load of laundry, because if you leave them full of blood, you can wash them separately, like all your period underwear together. I just personally don't like doing that, especially in Las Vegas where water conservation is of utmost importance. If you would like more ways to conserve water, you can check out this video. So that being said, I was just rubbing this spot consistently on these underwear for a year and a half, and eventually it made a hole. So if you, like me, want to wash out your period underwear before putting them in the laundry, wash them gently. So what I've learned to do now is I like to maybe scrub it like this a little more gently, or use my whole hand over the surface instead of just my thumb digging in really hard in this one area, because that will cause holes. And again, that's no fault to the brand. I've had no issues with any of their other pair, but this is one that I've had since the beginning, and I think it just got a little too worn for me scrubbing it. Oh, sorry, this is all over the place because I did not script this. Back to Modibodi. Again, how they are a completely different brand. Not only do they have different styles and patterns and so forth, they're also like reimagining themselves to be a fully inclusive brand. They now have products for people with disabilities. They are size inclusive. They're also gender inclusive. They have like boxer styles. I think they even have styles for preteens. They have postpartum care. They have underwear for any need that you might ever want. Oh, and this is not sponsored. This is just a brand I truly, truly love. They are transparent. They are super kind. Their customer service is great. Their products are fantastic. They are by far my favorite brand still, and relatively affordable. I know brands like Thanks can get pretty expensive. In this pair, it's all right. It's like their classic pair. It's good. I don't like ever avoid this pair, but when I'm reaching for period underwear, I do always grab Modibodi. You can shop them with the link down below. These three are some of their pairs that I've had the longest, and they've sent me more over the months, and I really appreciate the kind gifts from them so that I can review them for you guys. Again, my favorite style is like the heavy overnight use for Modibodi, just because even if I'm not having a heavy day, it's nice to feel really protected. That being said, I still recommend any of these brands that I still have. So that would be Bambody. I think Bambody is a great budget option, which makes me a little skeptical on their ethics and sustainability, though they are made out of bamboo. So like they're not the worst, but I don't think they're the best when it comes to ethics and sustainability. But if you are looking for a budget option, they're still pretty good. Goat Union was a great option. Isle, they're all right. I don't not recommend them, but they're definitely not my favorite. Again, Thanks, they're all right, though I have heard some things over the years that they might put some things in their underwear that aren't the best for our bodies, so do some research for yourself before you buy that brand. I'm not really sure if those claims are true. Apparently that's all I have. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brands now. A lot of them are Modibodi. And then I'll answer a few commonly asked questions about period underwear. The first one being, how many do you need? I personally think you can get by with 2 to 3, depending on how often you need to change them. If you do only need to change them every 8 hours, even every 10 to 12 hours if it's really light, you can probably get away with 2. You can wear one, wash it, hang it up immediately, and it should hopefully be dry by the time you need it again. I do think having more like 4, 5, 6, 7 probably is the way to go, so that way you don't have to do laundry all the time. You don't have to be hand washing your underwear all the time, because if you do only have 2 or 3, you do have to hand wash them and immediately rewear them pretty soon. I have probably 20 pair. I think that is not necessarily too much because it is nice. I don't have to do laundry until they're all used up, but that can get pretty expensive. So you don't need that many. I would say maybe plan for like 3 pairs per day, so that way you don't have to do laundry as often. And this is one of those purchases too. You can buy like 1 per month just to give them a try if you're new to them. And that way you don't have to drop like $100 or $200 on some products that you might not even like. If you're against pads, I think you would really like these, because I never really liked pads before, but these are fantastic. Like, I often forget I'm on my period when I'm wearing these. They're just so comfortable, which leads me to my next question. That is a pretty common question. How is the smell? I notice very little smell with these. Like when I would wear pads, especially disposable ones, they would just smell so bad. And like, I don't think anyone else could smell them because it was like close to my body, but I could smell it and I just didn't like it. So like, there is a little bit of a period smell. If you have period, you know what I'm talking about. But I think it's significantly less than pads and regular disposables. And even then, like, I'm sticking my face right in there after doing a load of laundry. They don't smell at all. I don't really use high fragrance detergents. I use some eco-friendly stuff, which I have 3 laundry videos now. If you're looking for eco-friendly laundry detergent, those are linked below. So the smell washes out, they feel clean. And then I think the other common question is, do they last? And the answer is yes. So when you're spending all that money up front, it can seem like a big blow to your wallet, and like, it just hurts spending a lot of money, you know? But these last so long. Again, if you take care of them, don't scrub them harshly like I was at the beginning, and be sure to watch my care video above again, because it talks about proper drying and proper storage and proper washing to ensure that they last long. Definitely be sure you're not putting them in the dryer. If it happens once or twice, it's fine, but if they constantly are going into the dryer, they're not gonna last. They are not designed to be put in our drying machines. They're designed to be hung dry. The care of your items is on you. I think these are all high quality items, which really helps, but if you don't take care of them, they're not gonna last. So take care of them and they will last you hopefully years. I'll do another update maybe next year, maybe just every other year, just to kind of talk about the quality, how well they're holding up, and so forth. If you have any more questions about period underwear, please leave them down below. I'd love to do a follow-up, because again, these are my favorite zero waste period products, maybe even my favorite zero waste products. And also, I'm getting ready to try a second menstrual disc, which is similar to a menstrual cup, as well as I have now tried the reusable tampon applicator, which isn't zero waste, but it's very, very low waste. So if you'd like me to talk about more zero waste period products, menstrual cups, reusable pads, whatever else there is out there on the market, let me know down below what you want to see from me, as well as any questions so I can do a follow-up. All of these brands will be linked down below if you would like to support those brands, as well as some of them are affiliates if you would like to support me as well. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra. It's just the brands giving me a little bit of an incentive to make you guys shop these brands. But again, I'm not making you. If you need them, if you want them, go for it, but do what you want. And that's all that I have for today. If you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Well, thank you to everyone for watching. But if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste, practical ways to be an activist, and occasionally brand reviews. That's a lot, but you get the idea. If you appreciated this video, you found any value in it, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you think any of your friends would benefit from this video, I would really appreciate you sharing it with them as well. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Again, thank you, and until next time, remember that your small actions have a big impact in the long run. Bye, guys. And they're not very absorsive. Those ones don't absorb very well. Modibodi.